Hail and well met. Welcome to another episode of Greymantle. I believe that this is episode 5. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. I am Eric Scott B, the GM of this campaign and other stuff here on the Dungeon Scrawlers. We're a bunch of writers and artists and various performers presenting our D&D and other gaming stuff to you. Thank you for joining us. I want to tell you about our dice partners. Specifically, there is Norse Foundry, which specializes in metal dice, where most adventurers use flimsy plastic tools to fight monsters. Norse Foundry provides us with metal to crush the armor of the monster horde. You can find discounts at Norse Foundry by putting in !Norse Foundry. Also, Phoenix Dice, which is named for the creature that rises from the ashes. Phoenix Dice uses all recycled materials, and those dice are also beautiful. You can get discounts using !Phoenix Dice. Take it away, Allie.
Hi there, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a writer, TTRPG streamer, game designer, and myriad other hats that I wear these days. And I will, as ever, be playing the Silver Sparrow, uh, thief extraordinaire, possibly far too full of herself. Definitely has a lot of baggage, but that's why we love her. And I'd also like to tell you about one of our sponsors, which is going to be Idle Champions. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com.
Hi, I'm Lex. You can also call me Forda, because on the internet, I'm mostly Forda Bear. I illustrate, I play games. Look for me places. Oh, for the month of April, I've got a commission discount going because birth month. Hello, hi. Yep. So, if you're interested, just take a look at my Patreon or something. I don't know.
Hello, friends. I'm Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. You can find my awesome work and designs at savagesparrow.com. Yeah. Including officially licensed Pathfinder merch. Woo! On this show, I play Oriana, also known as the Vainglory, who is the tiefling mob princess, and very much last game got infected by a thing, but is trying to be totally cool and normal about it, because this is Nightside and horrible things just happen when you walk down the street. What else is new? Anyway, yeah.
He's just being so brave about it.
So brave. So very brave.
Hi, my name is Amanda Cherry. I write stories about powerful women who aren't very nice. Some of them I co-write with Eric Scott to be even. Today I'm going to be playing Anchi. She is your thirsty bard that is mostly for decoration, but she's here to liven up everyone's day, flirt with anyone that doesn't have the plague, and hopefully make the world better for her Dami Mommy Nelly. So that's what we're up to right now.
Excellent. Speaking of Dami mommies, you just finished talking with the profane mother who gave you some information, set you straight, or maybe not quite straight, about a couple of things. And now it is getting fairly late. This is hour 20. And you emerge from the infernal cathedral just exhausted. The air feels heavy. Your brow is slick with sweat, and you can feel just like your insides just churning with how exhausted you are. Like your bones just are aching in your body.
Who told you how I was feeling yesterday, Eric?
Mood.
I was like, that's just because y'all made me get up in the morning.
No, that's just my body in general.
So,
Is
to
there,
re- to- yeah.
there a Greymantle version of Monster? Like can we all just chuck the Greymantle version of 5-hour energy? Can we get it's like gnome juice
An
or
espresso
something?
No, gnome juice. That's
Yeah, I
just,
don't
that's
know. They seem
distressing.
like guys that go fast.
It's possible, but you don't have any on you.
Dang it. Like dwarves work 23-hour work days. Like what can we get whatever the dwarves are on?
Oriana being casually racist about dwarves.
They gotta be
Okay.
on something, I swear.
Yeah.
You do know there are alchemical substances that you could take to keep you going.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
you could just go rest.
I mean, or hear me out, fantasy cocaine.
Yeah, we already
Fantasy
established.
cocaine is just cocaine.
We already
That
established.
one. Why do we not have that one?
Sorry. Go ahead,
Because
Alex.
everybody who has it won't give it to us. It's too expensive.
Damn it, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. But I definitely think the go rest thing is
Yeah.
probably the best idea right now.
Yeah.
Well, you are very close to your hideout, which is at the top of the cathedral, which is called the Devil's Choir. We're saying that your hideout is called that. The cathedral itself is typically just called the cathedral, or the infernal cathedral, or the profane cathedral, or any number of hellish sorts of appellations. But your hideout is on top, and the bells haven't been ringing recently, so it's pretty safe to rest there.
Yeah,
Is that where you want to go?
we still need to look into that other hideout I was talking about, because then we won't have to deal with the bells.
Yeah.
But this is nearby, and the bells are
Up in your
doing
hideout,
anything right now.
You stagger back up to your hideout. Making the climb is difficult. It mostly just reminds you of how exhausted you are. And you stagger back into your hideout, and you find Stinky, your goblin scribe, and Eve, the strange girl that you found on the train, sitting around a table. And they seem to be doing something with powders and like chemical devices. And Stinky's like, no, it goes like this. And Eve is like, watching very, very interestedly. You do see Tarant sitting in the corner shivering. And he is wrapped in dark gray rags, including over his face. But you can tell that it's him because he's uttering this slow series of curses that are very much what Tarant would say when he's in significant pain.
You know, Tarant, we do have
And,
blankets. You don't have to wrap yourself in rags.
This was the kid's suggestion. Stinky's like, I'm 47. I'm not a kid. And Tarant's like, 47 months old. He's like, yeah, so isn't that how time is measured? Anyway, the goblin goes back to working.
He's just a guy.
Tarant says, I didn't want to infect any of your blankets.
Oh,
Look,
that's very
see-
sweet.
But consider, you can just keep it once you've had it.
I
And
also
look at it
remind you of the
differently.
existence of soap. Just, soap.
We've also established
Get to
this
know
plague
it.
don't care about it.
All right, have you just come to mock me, or is there an actual cure yet? Because I'd love you to cure this. This would be nice.
And that occurs tomorrow morning.
Okay.
First thing.
Oriana's just kind of like watching Tarant and just sort of like off to the side by herself, like,
Yeah, you share this little like look with Tarant, like he looks over at you and you see that like around his eyes are like bloodshot and his skin is starting to turn gray around his eyes.
That's unsightly.
It's a unsettling foreshadowing, isn't it? Anyway,
You say this isn't your best look, dear.
he says, "No, it's really not."
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yes,
And Ori will just like leave.
Don't forget to take your meds.
Are you sure you don't want to sleep?
Okay.
Mind you,
Outside,
Sounder
Sarah.
at this point is still wearing that freaking gas mask.
Yep. What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Never mind. Sparrow will go off to her space, her room, whatever however we have this arranged.
Yeah. Don't they share a space or no?
There are numerous side rooms up here in the
We
choir.
probably do share a room. I think.
Yeah, but at least we've been thus far when we share space. It's just simpler than going and ferreting ourselves off places. But you know what? Everyone's got the funk.
Yeah, I feel like this is a case for social distancing.
Yeah, probably.
Like, you sleep over there, and I'll sleep over
Yeah,
here.
I think at that point, Sparrow to Ori will just kind of be like, why don't you take the room for this evening? I'll find a cot somewhere.
I feel like there is a momentary flash of like, you know, something that vaguely resembles hurt and pain, but then it's just like very quickly masked of like, yeah, of course. You know, you sleep well.
I hope you sleep well as well.
Gee, Tarant says,
Yes, dear.
"Can I talk with you a moment?"
I suppose. Rather you didn't breathe on me, but
So what else is new? Anyway, so I hear that there are a number of people trying to leave Nightside, and if they're already infected with this plague, they could spread it anywhere. I need you to try and stop that from happening.
no, that's nothing like a tall order there, is it? Honestly,
Well,
the Shadow Knives buying up all the trade tokens, so whoever's trying to leave, will be under their auspices. I
that's
believe they're more
good.
likely trying to escape the plague than to spread it. Not that I give a damn what happens to Lightside.
Right. Same old Anji. Anyway, and he kind of reaches toward you but doesn't touch you. And he says, "You haven't been exposed. I can tell. If
Indeed.
possible, can you get out of Nightside?"
Go back.
I
I'm
don't
sure it'd
care
be
where you
possible.
go. I just want you to be safe.
You're dear, but we're trying to deal with things here, clean it up. Make it safe for all of you.
Okay. I appreciate the nobility, but if you get a chance, you take that train out of here, okay?
No promises. Get some rest.
Typical. He leans back against the wall and starts snoring. Okay. So you're all gonna rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Try to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Sorry.
like I have anxiety about anything.
Sweet dreams.
And have a snack.
Okay. Yes, and you're gonna eat. You have enough. Well, you have the rations that are listed on your character sheets.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of food left here in the choir, which Eve and the goblin have not completely eaten up. So you can get the equivalent of like a couple more group meals here at the choir.
Okay.
So I will assume that you all eat normally. And I will update your sheets appropriately. Or I will update the tracker appropriately. Okay, Oriana, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Hell yeah.
Don't die.
Yeah, please don't die.
16.
Okay. So, all right, you wake up no worse or better than you did before. Or, yeah, you are still extra hungry.
Mhm.
Like you ate a whole lot of food, basically double what a normal person would. And you still feel a little bit weak, but you're not any worse than you were.
Okay. And we're back at full hit points, right?
You are back at full hit points. You have recovered half of your healing surges, which is normal for taking a long rest. Okay. All right. The next day dawns cold, dark, and dreary as usual. But the air feels heavy, and there's a strange humidity about the place that is not common in Nightside. You usually have more of a kind of chill feeling, but right now it is oppressive when you go outside. And it is day 2. So did you want to get up early, or did you want to sleep until kind of a regular time to start doing stuff in the morning?
I feel like
Sounder's up early.
I feel like Ori's up early, but that's just, the anxiety.
Sparrow is most definitely.
I feel like Anji's
sleeping
going to
in.
be up early, but only because of what Tarrant said. Like, she didn't sleep great because of what Tarrant said.
Okay.
So,
Did you catch what I said?
Yeah.
she's never had anxiety before, but by golly, you gave her some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounder's up early. Make sure that Tarrant eats something.
Okay, Sounder, you're up earlier than everyone else. You're up at the equivalent of like 4 a.m. And you make sure everybody eats. But the supplies here in the choir are getting very, very low. You have basically exhausted all of the stores. And now you're down to your rations. But you did get out enough food for everybody, so you do eat a normal meal here in the morning. Okay, Anji and Ori kind of wake up around the same time, which is the equivalent of 6 a.m. Is there something in particular you want to do before Sparrow wakes up? Or do you want to wake up Sparrow early?
Let's see. I feel like Oriana would probably take like a modest 5 or so minutes to quietly cry while she's by herself. Before, then perfecting makeup and, looking fine, and then going to like poke Sparrow with a stick or something to wake her up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like bathe, hair, face, outfit to look like especially cute. I'm going to like go to the window and open it up and like peek out into the city because I am concerned that someone may have set the place on fire overnight. So I am smelling the air for smoke. I am looking around for a smoky haze. The girl knows what it's like when things catch fire. So, and then failing that, like, okay, the city's not on fire. Like, we'll check on Tarrant. We'll go to check on Oriana and probably then like find her awake.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you had vague dreams of heat and fire and smoke, and when you woke up, the air quality made you think of that as well. But when you look out, the city doesn't seem to be like on fire. You do see that there are little plumes of smoke rising from certain spots removed in the city. Go ahead and make a perception check, please. While she's rolling that, Oriana comes and like knocks on the door to where Sparrow is, and Sparrow's just tranced out, just or sleeping. However that works with Sparrow's unique physiology.
Oh, she's completely knocked the hell out. She is not even trancing. She is just asleep.
Okay.
So in that case, Ori would probably like look for Forder or Anji, whichever one looks less busy, and just be like, "Hey, one of you should probably go in there and wake her up because it kind of looks like she needs to be shook." And it showed it.
Okay. Anji, what'd you get on your check?
A dirty 20.
Okay. It smells like cooking, like burning, like slightly singed, overcooked barbecue, shall we say?
That could be one of two things. It could be slightly singed barbecue, or not.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Does one of you want to go in and wake Sparrow up, or are you letting Sparrow sleep?
If Oriana asked me to go wake Sparrow up, I'm gonna ask why. Like, can we not let her sleep? Like, is there a reason she's be awake right now? Because if she's that sound asleep, like, that's maybe we leave that alone.
I mean, because the fact of the matter is that this is a race against time, and while normally I'd agree with you, and she kind of just like looks at her hands and then looks over at Gerard. I feel like we don't really have the luxury right now. And
Right. Yeah, you have a point. I think, Oriana, you will notice that Anji is like a little extra precious looking today. Like, this is very much, we are working on denial right now. We're like, everything is gonna be fine.
Yeah,
It's gonna be so fine that I'm wearing all my lacy petticoats, because it's fine.
Yeah, no, same bestie, except, professional.
Okay, so I will...
Tiefling culture. We got each other.
Right, we got it. So I will go wake Sparrow up, but from across the room with prestidigitation, I'm gonna poke her in the arm until it wakes her up. I'm not getting right there because Sparrow strikes me as the kind of person who wakes up fist first. And I want time to dodge.
You're not wrong.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was totally picturing like. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
I
think Allie's audio is a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say
No.
that Sparrow definitely, when poked enough, she'll wake up, kind of like groggily, like is up with like knife out, like from under the pillow, like on her feet, uh, absolutely, just completely in her under things at the moment, just like not even caring. Just as soon as she sees it's Anji though at the door, she just goes, "Oh, mm. What time is it?"
Morning time.
Uh,
Oriana asked that I shake you awake.
did you run back to the door? Like what happened here? What?
Oh, darling, I used magic to wake you.
Hmm.
Quite content with remaining out of range.
She just looks at the knife in her hand. Probably for the best. Uh, I'll I'll meet you all out there. Give me a
Indeed.
moment.
Okay. So, Sparrow, you take some time, pull yourself together. It is now the 8th hour, and everybody is up and awake. All right. At that point, Stinky comes over to Sounder. Alex, you have a question. What?
I just want to make it known that in the additional 4 hours of wakefulness, Sounder has taken stock and is trying to figure out a plan to maximize efficiency and hopefully gather some food while we're out today.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, since you took some time to do that, you have managed to find enough food that was just kind of like squirreled away to feed the people here at the hideout for the rest of the day.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about them starving or anything. Not necessarily enough to feed your whole team for the rest of the day. But yes, getting some more food would definitely be helpful.
Do we trust Stinky with gold? We could send him out to do shop.
Trouble is, there ain't much to eat shop-wise.
Yeah, I'd honestly be worried that he'd get stabbed and robbed.
Yeah, the big thing is yesterday when I was out and about, most of the food's already gone.
Yeah.
For sale-wise.
It's less that I don't trust Stinky and more that I don't trust literally everybody else at this point.
Think you'd do fine with the gold. It's just there ain't nothing to buy.
So
Unless you like
Sticky,
eating bootstraps.
I do not.
Sticky comes up to Sounder. I'm very trustworthy with gold. I am very trustworthy with medicine. We found this medicine that might be helpful, and he holds up this little pouch of powder.
Where'd you find that?
Made it.
Out of what?
Medicines.
Kinds of medicine.
Well, I'm not really sure, but like, there was this weird lady who was wandering around, and she was really like hard to look at, but she had a bunch of pills, and she traded them to me for a knife, and that she gave me these pills, and I wasn't sure which one would be best, so I kind of like pushed them together, and now they're all best.
This hard to look at lady. Was she hard to look at because she was bright?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, she really needed a knife. I think she got stabbed. Anyway, probably because she's real bright. People in Nightside don't like real bright people.
Was she really tall? Like,
Everyone's really tall.
Taller than us, even.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
It's
gonna
hard to
take him
say.
as, like-
You weren't there, so I don't know.
Pluck that bag right out of his hand.
Okay. You now have a bag of mixed powders.
I'm gonna
Questionable
detect
medicine.
magic on it to see
Okay.
if this is
It
just
doesn't seem
mundane
magical.
stuff. Okay. Interesting. And then I'm gonna do the like 1980s cop thing where like I stick my pinky in it and just like put a tiny bit of it on the inside of my lip to see if it burns or stings or like
Oh, Jesus.
is it but no like
Is it
just
cocaine?
is it cocaine? Thank you, other people that have seen 80s cop shows. Like, is it cocaine?
Is it cocaine?
It
The
tastes
joke in
really
one of my
foul.
favorite movies is that it was fertilizer and like
It tastes really foul.
but like
Go
it's
ahead
just-
and make a Constitution save. You have advantage.
Okay. Here we go. I have advantage, so I can do it again, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Take the
that's-
higher result.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you. 16.
Okay. You lose 1 hit die.
Okay. That was no good.
So, like your insides churn painfully.
From,
But
like,
you
a molecule of this stuff. Yeah, this stuff is no good. We're done. No.
No. That's great. Give me that. Give me that. That's
I'll
poison.
give it to you. You can have it now.
okay.
Yes, that's poison. That's poison.
Okay. Okay. All right. What do you wanna do now?
Was the goal still to head to the Mediker's place and see what we can scrounge?
What was the other thing we were trying to look into also? Because I
Train
remember.
tokens.
Yeah, the shadow knives are buying up all the trade tokens.
Yeah.
There's also the
the-
overarching quest of Lilith asking you to get the others of the triumvirate to vote to give her emergency powers
Yeah.
Which,
And then
But-
there
to
was.
contain the plague.
The fun thing would be if we can overthrow one of them and install Nellie in their
Yeah.
place.
There-
So that then Lilith doesn't need emergency powers. She has someone who will just agree with her because that's part of the deal. That if we can install Nellie, Nellie will
And then
go
we were,
along with things.
We were
until...
supposed to also look into like where the plague was coming from, right? Or something like
Yeah.
that.
rather, we're supposed to be trying to.
Like we-
Supposed to be. We wanted to find out the sources of this stuff
Yeah,
so that
'cause
we
we-
could try and maybe burn it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, what would you like to do this morning?
Medicine.
And
Want to
if
go
that's-
find the Mediker's place?
If that's in Dayside also, then maybe we can also acquire something that has divine properties.
Is it
burn
in
this stuff.
Dayside?
Is it?
I was under impression that the Mediker's house was here in Nightside and
Okay.
It is.
magic
Okay.
healers were in Dayside.
Yeah. that's what I
Fabulous.
thought too.
Okay, cool.
Also, there is this thing about this strange woman that Sticky met.
Ooh.
The big, tall, bright one with the poison,
And that is something.
May or may not be Lilith.
who may or may not be Lilith.
What were you
Yeah.
saying, Allie?
I said that's the thing. Like, as Sparrow's coming out, fully dressed, she'll ask about like what was that I heard about a bright lady?
Not sure yet. We'll keep an eye out and an ear out.
Binky, what
Mhm.
kind of knife did you trade this woman? Like, was it just
The
something?
kind you cut to make things better.
Okay. It wasn't any of our knives, was it?
And it just draws on for a second. Do you have the stuff to cut and make better?
No, we don't. though you shouldn't go looking through our stuff.
You hear Tarant cough. Is it was a scalpel?
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
From whence
And
did
Stinky
you
says,
obtain
"Yeah, cut to
one?
make better."
Where did we get a scalpel?
Where did you obtain the cut to make better knife that you? Where'd it come from?
Stinky says, "Oh, it was from a sugar salesman." Tarant says, "Surgeon." And Stinky says, "Yeah, sugar. Like I said, sugary.
God.
You want to see it? I have more."
You have. Yes, I would like to see this very much.
All right, he pulls out this like leather rolled thing and unrolls it on the table, and you see it has a bunch of blades and implements of different shapes and sizes. It looks to your trained adventurer's eye more like a torture kit than anything like a medical kit. He says, "Here it is."
Huh.
Oh, bandages. He gives you some bandages.
Okay.
Do you want to take the kit too?
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, you can't have this one. He there's this little like hammer, which is probably good for like breaking bone. And you see that it's dusted with a bunch of like medical dust. And he's like, "I was using this one. But you can have the rest."
Did we establish if the medicine was actually medicine before he crushed it together, or are we just assuming that it's poison from the get-go?
We haven't established that it was medicine, but the Sounder's assumption, at least, is that it probably started as medicine, and now it's
Okay. Cool.
useless because it's not meant to be mixed.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get going because the sun or the gloom is beginning to rise.
Stinky says, "Oh, by the way, if you happen to see Eve out there, tell her to come back."
Wait.
When did she go?
A while ago. Did you not notice?
How long
No,
was a
none of
while
you
ago,
noticed.
Stinky?
Time is relative.
Was it before or after
nodded.
all of us had woke up and had breakfast?
He's doing math in his head. Like, after you woke up, points at Sounder, but before you woke up, points at Sparrow.
Did she say anything?
She said, "I'm gonna go make better. I know what to do. I will save everybody."
Oh.
But she meant her. She didn't mean me. When I say I will save everybody, she meant that
Yeah.
she would save
You
everybody.
were speaking. Yeah, we understand.
Okay, good. I'm gonna cure this plague myself. I am a master of many skills.
We
need you to do the very important job of taking care of Durant and just listening to whatever Durant says until we get back.
Okay, Tarant spits from the corner. And Stinky's like, "Will do, yes, ma'am."
Yeah, until we get back. Then you listen to what we say.
Okay, sounds
Wear a
good.
mask when you're working with them.
A mask? Do you have a mask I could use?
This one's gonna be too big for you.
Sounder's like, I do have a mask hanging around my neck. All right. He said, Stinky said, "I'll make a mask. It's fine."
Make sure it's sealed on the side, right up to the skin.
Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna breathe, but I'll try.
Cloth will do better than nothing.
Excellent. Okay, he goes back to the table and you hear him whack, whack. Now he seems to be crushing like stones, it looks like.
What's that you got there?
Just gotta bulk up the meds.
Please don't do that to any of the other existing medical supplies. Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, leave them as they are.
All right,
If
so
you have questions on what to do, ask Durant.
okay.
Let's go, everybody.
We're not gonna have any supplies when we get back.
No, probably not.
All right. So it is now
Um,
hour 9.
I'm gonna help real quick. While Stinky's not paying attention, any of the like really valuable supplies, the stuff that we really need him to not touch, I'm gonna sort of quietly gather them up in a corner and cast invisibility on them, so he literally can't see them.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that invisibility would only last for so long, but it's still worthwhile to do if you want to try.
Yeah.
I feel like you could also just like put a coat over it and he wouldn't pay attention.
That's fair.
All right.
yeah,
so you want to hide?
it'll-
You want to hide
it'll
some
last for an
supplies from
hour.
him.
Yeah, we're gonna hide
Okay.
things that we need 100% to not have destroyed, in the interest of science. By the time.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make a check to see how well he. Okay. All right. So, you're out of the hideout, and where do you want to go first?
I think we wanted to head to the Medica first.
Yep.
Not a bad idea.
Except we better be prepared for trouble. Because it sounds like the Medicer is no longer home.
Okay. So you find
well.
that the streets, while not deserted, certainly have fewer people wandering around in them. The air feels heavy and oppressive. You do see Hellfire enforcers moving along the streets. They look at you suspiciously, like, what are you up to? But as long as you don't antagonize them in some way, they seem to be content to leave you alone. Okay.
I'm not brandishing my pistol, but it is in my pocket and my finger is on the trigger. Like, I just look like I'm a cutesy girly walking around with my hands in my pockets because my dress has pockets and that's very exciting. But yeah, my finger is on the trigger. I could draw and pop a cap in a fool real fast if I needed to.
All right. Gotcha. So you finally find the Medicer's house that Tarrant was talking about. He gave you directions, but they were kind of fevered and incoherent because, plague.
And also
but-
Tarrant.
And
Also
well,
Toronto, yes.
and they are in the Seal, which is the factory district of Nightside. It's by the river, so you follow the river, and you're finding that it's just very confusing between like getting over walls and moving around houses and stuff. But you eventually find the Medicer's house, and it appears to be like covered in this noxious like mossy mold stuff, and it looks just gross and uninviting. But there is a sign hanging outside that has an image that's associated with a healing rune on top of like a pile of bandages. So this appears to be the place. And just looking at this place, it looks like dark and uninviting.
Hey, so, considering we've come across a couple places where those nasty coffin things ended up, are there any indications of such a thing being nearby?
Hard to say exactly. So you look around.
The big thing is Sounders looking for the nasty swarms of plague.
Yeah, make a perception check. So
And
I'll
I'm
just
over
describe
here
a little while
detect
you're rolling.
magic also, because I want to know if this stuff that looks like it's growing, if it's real, or if it's like intentional, if it's magic, if it's there to like make people hesitate.
Okay.
Total of 14.
Total 14. Okay. So there are a number of people, including a small group of people that are kind of gathered out by the little small rundown fence around the Mediker's house. They haven't gone inside. Like they seem to be just waiting at the gate. And one of them is a dwarf woman, about 4.5 feet tall or so. And she has a number of like bodyguard type people around her. And she's looking at the house going, considering and like disapproving. Sounder, you are paying close attention for a buzzing sound, and you do detect a faint buzzing sound as of flies or moths or other vermin that you have come to associate with the manifestation of the plague being near you.
Yeah, she kind of shudders. I mean, she's had her mask on this whole trek because, like, gross. Don't want to run into those nasty things on the street. But, yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you're standing there, kind of checking the place out, that dwarf woman catches your eye and points over to you. One of her bodyguards comes over and says,
Oh, ouch, you've already eaten?
And says, you, Lady Soldrova would like to speak with you. He kind of says that to all of you, not one of you in particular.
Is that a name that any of us would recognize?
Those of you who are, well, I mean, you're all kind of locals. That sounds like a dwarven, one of the like dwarven merchant clans.
Okay.
There is the clan of Soldrov, which is a mercantile clan in the city, and they're relatively popular. None of you, I don't think, are super tied in with the economics of Nightside, so you might not know a lot of details. But this is like if somebody came over to you and said, like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
So when you're saying economics, are you talking like the banking side of things or like the movement of goods?
I'm talking like the production of goods.
Okay.
Yeah. When I say economics, that's a very broad topic. You're right. I mean the production of goods.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Anji's way too selfish to know anything about that.
All right.
But like, I'll go talk to her. Like, I'll go
Sure.
talk to this lady.
Great. Okay, you head over there. Sure enough, this lady, she looks you up and down, and you are a little bit taller than her. So she's kind of sizing you up. And she says, "You are adventurers, yes?"
Suppose that's one
Depends.
way to put it.
Ah. Would you be interested in earning a bit of coin?
I shall defer that question. And I sort of like look at Sounder and Sparrow. Like, are we interested? Like, I don't know. I don't
You
know
got
anymore.
something more
So I'm just
valuable than
like,
coin?
Many things are getting more valuable than coin these days, especially with the city as it is. I need someone to go in that house, and all these fools are useless. But you are brave, yes?
Why ain't they going in the house?
I will pay you 1,000 silver to go in that house and investigate. Tell me what you find.
Do you also have food to throw in with that?
So she looks at her bodyguards and they look back. And she looks at you and she says, you're a shrew, I see. You understand that coin is less useful than food. Sure enough, I will invite you to a meal then. It is worth 1,000 silver to eat with the Soldrov clan. Is this acceptable?
I just sort of turn around and look at them, and I'm like, we were going in there anyhow. We don't have to tell her that, but we were going in there anyhow. So
Yeah.
Yes, we might as well get the
Didn't need
best payday
sex.
we can.
all right, just yeah.
Very well. We are agreed. And Ori would, do whatever the like Hellfire version of a handshake to close an agreement is.
But yeah, she recognizes that. And I mean, Ori is slightly disguised. Jen's message to me said Ori looks like could be Ori's cousin, but not actually like Ori. So yeah, Stoldrova recognizes the handshake and that you are a member of Hellfire, more or less. And she says, especially you are look for any particular victims of plague or anyone infected with plague. I have heard that there is plague in the streets. If this is so, my father wishes to know. It affects business, you understand.
Yes.
Indeed.
So it is just specifically like you're just looking for these people in this area, or are you looking to do something with these people?
You find whatever you find. You deal with it as you wish.
Okay.
And then
You
we
tell
just
me.
tell you about it.
Yes, I want full report.
Sounds fair.
Does the
She
Stoldrova
looks
clan...
at Sparrow, especially like something's interesting about Sparrow.
Can I help you?
You have lovely eyes. Like rubies.
Yes, well, they are one of my defining features.
It is striking, yes? You have stricken me. Anyway, go about your business. The meal is waiting at Soldrov Manor. I shall take your report there.
Of course.
All right, so Jen, I think you want to make an insight check.
Okay. My insight's so bad. 12.
12. Okay. She seems to either recognize Sparrow or like recognize something about Sparrow.
Okay.
Okay. With that,
Quick question.
And what is her name again?
her name is Vlana Soldrova. I'll put it in the chat.
Do the Soldrov clan have ties to the Inquisitors? Is my concern.
And she's a dwarf, right?
She's a dwarf, yeah.
I'm more worried.
The Soldrov clan is a mercantile clan of dwarves. Well, mostly dwarves. Like, they're headed by a dwarf, and his family are dwarves. Okay, you do not know of any connection between any mercantile clan and the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors are mostly out of Dayside, so they, to your
that's
knowledge,
the main thing is that I was trying to gauge, are they on Nightside?
I feel more like the concern I have is that they're tied to either the Shadow Knives or the Shadow Crown. Was that the other one?
Yes.
could be. You don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, she gives you directions to the Soldrov estate, which is in the Bleak Rest, the working quarter of town, not too far from here. The Soldrov estate is a holdfast, like basically a small castle in the city.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You want to head inside? Okay. So stepping through the gate into the courtyard, the sounds of the city fall away and everything feels still and quiet and still oppressive, but the heat has faded. Now it feels kind of cool and like you feel this chill over your skin as you're looking at this house. It is the equivalent of an extremely haunted house in terms of what it looks like. So haunted that the house itself has started to rot. Who's going in first?
Oh, me, for sure.
Oh, I was gonna say Ori would, because I'm already infected.
I just want to point out that infection is a relative measure.
Oh.
It could certainly get worse. All right.
Well, still.
All right. So you're just going to head right in, or are you going to investigate the grounds a little bit?
I'm going to head right in again with detect magic. Like, I want to know how much of this is legit versus how much is like being directed to like keep people out.
Okay. Okay.
I definitely want to do like investigation checks and stuff to like make sure there's no like traps or weird stuff.
All right. Jen, make an investigation check. I haven't heard from Alex or Allie. Is there something specific you want to do?
Doing stupid things.
No, sorry about that.
I also agree with the investigate.
Okay, also make a check.
Trying specifically, I want to see what's around on the grounds.
Okay.
I'm just charging right through the front door, like.
Ori's checking out the porch and the front door. Ori, you don't find any traps or anything. It doesn't look like there's a shotgun tied to the door so that it'll blast anybody who comes in. That's just a random example. You don't find any traps. Alex, checking out the grounds, what did you get on your check? You can just drop it in the chat if you prefer, because you're muted.
Sorry, 22.
22, okay. Allie, what were you going to do, by the way?
I will also investigate.
The grounds or the house?
The house.
Okay. So I'll let you roll, and I'll tell Alex what he found. So the grounds were once a beautiful garden. You're pretty sure, growing all kinds of herbs, potentially medical-related herbs. But they have gone to waste and rot, apparently really quickly. Like, if you think that everything was working out normally just a few days ago, now it's like blasted and rotted and useless. You're looking through all the grounds, and you find an area of churned earth, like freshly moved earth, which you're pretty sure is indicative of something being buried there. It was buried pretty well, but it is buried there. Allie, with your 16, you found that there are no traps on the door or on the porch. There is a bell attached to the door, however. So if you open the door, it will ring the bell. So Anji, you put your hand on the latch to open the door. I'm going to give Allie and or Jen a chance to stop you from heading in. Are they going to try that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Sparrow's hand falls on Anji's wrist.
Hold up a moment now.
Ori's hand falls on Sparrow's hand.
No. She would like wait.
Okay.
Yeah, like it would be that like start to do it and then that pause of like, oh, right. Let me go in first, just because I don't if there's any sort of plague beings that are gonna jump out and get us, probably jump out at the ones already infected.
Well, I should probably also do something about the bell on that door.
Sounder has split away from the group and off on her own investigation.
Yeah.
So, you gonna do something about the bell on the door, or are you gonna go through?
I'm gonna do something about the bell.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and do a Thieves' Tools check with Dexterity? It's not too difficult to disengage the bell, but to do so without ringing the bell would require a little bit of skill.
Yeah. I always hate how I'm trying to do it in D&D Beyond, and I always hate how awkward it is to try to use like checks for tools.
How it prompts you to.
Not sure exactly. I always forget how. Well, I rolled sleight of hand, and I got an 8. But
I believe you click on the proficiency.
I was in the proficiency. Okay, tools.
Okay.
These tools.
So you start disengaging the bell. It does ring, but you do take it off.
Well, not ideal.
I think you might be able to click on the item in your inventory, and then it'll ask you what. Okay, so you got an 8.
Am I that delayed?
Yeah, I think so. Do we want to pause for a second and try and get this all fixed up?
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish up this scene and then we'll go to our break and we'll do that.
Okay.
So, you start disengaging the bell. The bell rings, but you do kind of stop it, like close your hand around it, and it goes like a bell does. And you hear this kind of weak voice from inside say, "Hello? Is someone there?" And on that, we will go to our 10-minute break. So don't go away. More haunted, plague-infested house investigation to come. And we're back. About to venture into the creepy, rotting house.
The Mystery
Perfect.
Shack.
Mystery Shack.
Last thing that happened was that you heard a weak femme voice call out, "Hello? Is someone there?"
It's just
And
super
then-
upsetting considering the
Yeah.
last strange voice that said, "Hi, help."
Yeah, I don't like it when people ask us for help. It's never good.
It's highly concerning.
Okay.
Us help people?
Also, on the grounds, Alex had, with Sounder, had found something buried there. Sounder, your team is up on the porch. They're doing stuff. They seem to be headed into the house. Do you want to keep investigating? You do notice that there is a shovel shoved into the dirt next to this recently buried small mound.
Dimensions of the mound, and you said it was well buried, but can I get a sense of how deeply?
It wouldn't have been super obvious if you weren't, paying close attention.
Okay.
So the ground is patted down pretty well and covered over with some stones. You think the mound is probably 3 feet by 3 feet, so not really large enough for a person, or at least not a fully grown person.
Curiosity is going to be the death of this shifter, so, yeah. Shovel time.
All right, you start digging. Okay.
Like Baldur's Gate.
It's going to be the death of this whole party at some point.
The party
Yeah.
back at the door. All right, so you heard that voice. What do you do?
We
Well,
should be
I'm-
careful.
Oriana really seems to want to go in ahead of the rest of us, and I'm not going to bump her out of the way, but I am gonna pull the door open, be like, if you go in ahead of me, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm going in.
Like, I feel like Ori's confused, but kind of just is like, all right, whatever, and goes ahead. Obviously keeping, head on a swivel, paranoid as heck.
Well, I think Sparrow's going to slip in just after Ori, but she's going to have, the blades out, and I think in her offhand, she's going to have there's energy crackling around her offhand, she's ready to go. She's ready to Eldritch blast something in the face.
All right. The house is run down. The furniture looks old and worn. You feel like this place could have been cozy and homey and even welcoming once upon a time, but the walls are covered with that thick black mold, and it feels like it's wreathing around you. Like the walls are they shift inward slightly and then go outward again, which might just be your imagination.
Hate that.
Ori and Sparrow, you both hear this buzzing sound. Ori, it's very loud.
I think
It seems to be coming from all around you. You can make a perception check to kind of narrow it down if
Yeah.
you like.
Sure. My perception is also bad. 12.
Okay. Did you want to try that too, Sparrow, or are you good?
Sorry, 22, nat 20 on that.
Okay. So Oriana, it just sounds like it's all around you. Sparrow, the sound seems to be coming distinctly from upstairs. You do see there's a stairway with some cracked and broken steps leading upward just ahead of you. But there's also a corridor leading into the lower floor of the house where you are.
Okay.
You hear that voice again. It says, "Hello? Hello? Is someone there?"
Nope, don't like that. I'll kind of
Okay.
motion, kind of with my head, in the direction that I feel the voice is coming from.
Okay. You all want to head that way? I haven't really checked in with Anji. Anji, you don't hear the buzzing sound.
Okay, yeah, but I do hear the voice.
You do hear the voice, though.
I don't care that much about the voice. I'm gonna come up. We're gonna look all over. We're gonna come upon whoever or whatever is making that sound. And if it's something trying to lure me to my death, I'm not falling for it. So I'm just gonna keep walking, just straight ahead, just and start looking around this house. I'm looking for anything that looks magical, anything that looks interesting, anything that looks medically useful.
Okay. You come upon a bunch of furniture, tables, chairs, and such that are, like I said, worn down, cracked, covered in this kind of black, grimy dust. And there are a number of candles, most of which have burned down, and they're not currently lit. Wax is dripping down, forming stalactites off of these little tables. There are mirrors at several places hung on the walls and such that are cracked or have writing on them. It looks like kind of a brackish, bloody script, like maybe it was written with blood, and it's just a bunch of numbers and formulas, as near as you can tell. If you want to, you can make an Arcana check to see if you get anything out of that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. 12.
Okay. Not really. You think they might be like alchemical related formulas, but they're like the ramblings of a very diseased mind.
Okay.
No.
You.
I guess Ori would head towards where the voice seems to be coming from, but like also similarly have the spooky knife drawn.
Okay.
But like discreetly, you know, just in case it is somebody not terrible.
So, Ori, you're headed kind of along the passage that Anji is walking on along, and she's peering at the mirror trying to make sense of the symbols, and you see a figure just walk past her in the room just beyond.
What the? Guys, I don't. You're alone. Something just walked that way.
And then you hear the voice again. I can hear you, I think. Is that a person? Hello? Coming from that room. You want to go in?
Yeah.
Oh, I am Sir Moore's maid. Can you help me? I feel terrible, like as though the blood is curdling in my veins. I can't see anything. And the figure appears again, like hands on the back of a upholstered couch. And she, it's obviously a woman, is very gaunt. Her hair is stringy and wispy, and her face is covered with that same blackish mold. When she looks around at you, you see her eyes are gray and burned out, basically
Oh,
not functioning.
Oh no.
that's concerning.
Are you here to help me?
How did this happen to you? What caused all of this?
Some kind of sickness. Sir Moore was working on something, and I
Can you what happened to Sir Moore?
as you keep speaking, like she looks around and starts staggering toward you, because that's where your voice is coming from, right?
Yeah.
And she says, "Please, I'm so thirsty."
Thirsty for water, right? Water. Do we have water?
Okay, she's actually going to reach Anji first. Anji, you're standing there. You were looking at the runes, but you obviously see this woman approaching you. She looks just this side of zombie, shall we say.
Why?
I mean, my hand is back in my pocket on my pistol, but I'm also just gonna take a step back and be like, I beg your pardon.
She says, oh, there are two of you. Oh, good. Have you both come to help?
Is that what we've come to do?
Listen, if you can tell me what Sir Moore was doing and where he is now, like maybe show us where he was working on stuff.
His laboratory upstairs.
Okay.
Please, just some water or some food. I'm so hungry. So hungry.
I will.
Oh dear.
Let's see.
Are you backing away as she approaches you? Because otherwise she is going to come into contact with you.
Yeah, no, I don't want to judge her.
Okay.
I will basically pour some water from my water skin into like one of those like I assume
There are glasses and
Yeah.
tumblers and stuff that you could
Yeah.
pick up. I
Yeah.
mean, they're dusty, but you can still use one.
Yeah, I will pour some water in a dusty glass and just be like, okay, I have poured you some water and I'll guide you to it as I'm basically circling around to get to the upstairs.
Yeah,
it's
as soon as she's not paying attention to me, I'm like gonna start creeping toward going upstairs.
okay.
Meanwhile-
So logically, you would leave the tumbler on like the table.
Yeah.
Like there's a side table under where that mirror is, and she reaches out and she finds it. It seems she's very familiar with like where things are in the house, so she doesn't like stumble into the table or anything. She finds it, and her hands kind of like tremblingly grab the tumbler, and she presses it to her face, and like water gets in her mouth, and some slides down like she has a drinking problem. And she goes, and just starts retching. Increasingly wet and disturbing sounds.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
Allie, you were saying that Sparrow was doing something meanwhile?
I mean, Sparrow was there for all of this.
Right. I figured Sparrow was kind of standing back and like observing, ready in case an attack happened.
Well,
But what do you want to do?
She definitely is, but also I was just when she commented that there's two of you, and Sparrow had also spoken. I think Sparrow was mostly like, ew, like. But no, she's ready to attack if need be. She's watching and kind of keeping her distance at the moment. She has her sword ready. She's got, that kind of like void light energy around her offhand, ready to go.
Okay. Is one of you or more than one of you going to head upstairs?
I'm as quickly as I can.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ori is definitely going upstairs.
All right. So Anji, you, since you were not doing the thing with the glass of water, you can just head upstairs. Or you're placing a glass of water. Sparrow, you're getting ready to fight. When your ears prick up because there is a door opening off the hallway behind you, Sparrow.
Oh.
And you see a grayish hand reach around the door frame and grab the wall, followed by another maid who looks just even worse off than this first one that you saw.
Great.
And she comes out like going, and now Anji has scurried up the stairs. But you two, that is Ori and Sparrow, are trapped between these two maids who are coming from either end of the hallway. You could kind of try and get around them to go out or to go up the stairs. I'll let you think about that for a second.
Okay.
So
Sure.
we're going to cut back to Sounder. Sounder, digging this out has been kind of a long, tedious process. What is Sounder's strength score?
Sounder's strength score is a 0. Sorry, not a 0. It's just a flat 10.
Your modifier is
Average.
0.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. Okay. So it takes a while. You're sweating. But eventually the shovel hits something firm. And it appears to be a box.
Okay.
It is wrapped in old, dried leather, which is very, very dark and dirty from all that dirt on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can brush it off and see that it is fairly well kept and pretty good quality, if old. You want to take it out?
Before I take it anywhere, does it match at all any of those boxes that were on the Doom train as far as design goes?
No,
Okay.
does not.
Then yes, I would like to take it out.
Okay, that was it. That was a good hesitation. All right, so you pull it out. There appears to be a latch, but no lock on it.
Okay.
So you could unlatch it and look, or do you want to just take it with you?
For now, take it, like, what is the size of this box? Is it something I could feasibly
It's about a
take with me?
briefcase size,
Okay,
like a
then
legal
yeah,
briefcase.
As long as it's not super heavy, just gonna take it with me.
Not especially. It probably weighs maybe 5 pounds, 6
Yeah,
pounds.
then gonna make sure there's nothing else buried underneath it, but it's
Something
coming with
rattles
me.
inside the briefcase,
Like glass rattle or
like metal rattle.
Okay, interesting. Investigation for later.
Okay. You can hear voices. They're not quite shouts, but they're loud voices from the house. Your compatriots seem to have encountered something or someone.
Yep, gonna take the briefcase and go inside. Well,
Okay.
actually,
There does appear to be a back door.
yeah,
You want to head that way?
yes.
Okay. All right. So you push through this back door. It's not locked, but it like only opens some of the way, so you have to kind of like edge your way
Like
through it.
something's wedged up against it, or like it's jammed.
Like it's jammed.
Old door frame type.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually a sliding door. It just doesn't slide all the way open.
Okay.
And you push your way through, which is giving plenty of time for the next area to load. And you come into a kind of like sitting room, common room, on the other side of which is this just someone's having a really, really bad day. It is a maid. You can tell by how she's dressed. Sounder has worked with it and delivered to a lot of different houses, including, kind of upscale places that have servants. That's kind of the typical attire that you might expect an on-site servant to wear. But her skin is gray and gaunt and drawn tight against her bones. Her hands are like almost skeletal, and she's not looking at you, but her hair, which you can see from behind, is matted with blood and dust and wispy. And you can see in the hallway, you could see Ori and Sparrow both standing there. Sparrow has his crackling energy in one hand and the sword in the other. And Ori has out the dagger. And they appear to be trapped or just engaged by something from the other side as well. And now you're all in the same place at the same time, except for Anji, who is headed upstairs.
How bad is the buzzing in here?
It's real bad.
Awesome.
Real
Would
bad,
you like
yo.
to make a perception check, please?
I would.
Okay.
That's an 18.
Okay, it's definitely coming from above.
And
Okay,
I
so-
can't see Anji from where I'm at.
No, you don't see Anji anywhere. Anji, you step out onto the landing of the second floor. Everything seems fine to you.
I'm
There
just
are
going
still
to-
voices.
I'm looking for this lab, and I don't care about the voice.
Yeah, there are still voices from down below. Like Ori and Sparrow are talking with the maid. Importantly, you didn't see the other maid appear. You just headed up the stairs. So the upstairs of this house is smaller than the downstairs. It seems to be a bedroom, the door of which is cracked open. You can see that there's a bed in there, and kind of an oily light glowing from something like maybe a lantern in there. And then there's another door, which is a metal door, which is shut.
Good.
And then there's a window between these two where you can see the crowd of people gathered at the front of the house. Some of which appear to have dispersed. Like there are a couple of people still there, but most of the people have left.
I mean, I'm definitely down to open that door.
You can hear faint, kind of whispery, murmuring sounds coming from the bedroom. You want to try the bedroom door or the metal
door. The
metal
metal
door.
door.
Okay.
I'm
The
not
metal
looking
door-
for people.
The metal door is a sliding door. Like it'll slide onto just over the staircase, basically. And you kind of like give it a little pull, but it appears to be locked.
I mean, since when does a locked door stop me? Trying to decide how I want to break the lock.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So downstairs,
Yeah.
so you two are pinned between the maids, the
Yes.
mostly zombified maids, and you see like Sounder appears behind the one coming from the common room. The maid doesn't seem to be aware of Sounder being there. What do you want to do? Anji has scurried upstairs and no sign of her.
And these maids are very intent on just coming at us and coming to touch us and stuff.
Well, the one from behind is coming toward you with her arms outstretched as though to embrace you.
Yes, well, that's about enough of that then.
Yes. I'm summoning my flame blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Ori has two weapons.
Yep.
The
All
dagger and the flame blade. You want to attack the maids?
I want to be like, back off, or I'm going to strike you.
Okay, the maid coming from the front is just like... she's making kind of like sad, desperate sort of moaning sounds.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
maid
I
coming
think-
from the common room says, "Oh, please don't hurt her. Please don't hurt us." And she's still coming toward you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna hit it.
I think at this point, Sparrow as well is going to be like,
Yeah.
that's about enough of that, and
Yeah.
she's going to. How are the shadows in here?
Oh, it's very shadowy and dark in here.
Could I?
There's light coming from the back door and light coming from the front door, but
Okay.
it's not nearly enough to fill the space with light.
Could I shadow dance onto the stairs?
You could, yes.
Okay. I would like to position myself so that I can still see the maids.
Okay. You can only see one from this distance, the one at the front.
Which one is that? Is it the one that's talking, or is that the other
That's
one?
the one who can't seem to speak.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna bamf up there, and then I'm going to just unleash that Eldritch Blast on the one that's coming at us.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Sure. Let's see here. Eldritch Blast. 17.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Alright. And I
Um,
only hit for 2, but I do blast.
Okay. Is it repelling or is it just a blast?
It's just a blast.
All right. It strikes her. She kind of staggers for a second and then lets out this kind of like cry of pain.
Wait, she doesn't stagger into V, does she?
No, she kind of stops in place for a second
Okay, good.
and then she like grasps the rail for the stairs and then starts like pulling herself up toward Sparrow.
Oh no.
Yeah. Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Yes, it is going to prompt an opportunity attack. Would you
Okay,
like to take
cool.
that opportunity attack?
Yes, I would.
Alright.
So I'm gonna try to hit with Audrey. 25.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
Cool. 6 damage with
Okay.
Audrey.
You plunge Audrey into the maid.
Alright.
Kind of brackish blood blooms around the blade, and then the maid just kind of like slumps to the ground, dead.
Okay. And she doesn't seem to be getting back up again?
No,
Cool.
but the maid coming from the common room, the sitting room, shouts, "What? What have you done? What have you done?" And she's still reaching for you.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. So now I get to have my normal attacks, right?
Correct.
Cool. I'm gonna try to stab with Audrey.
Okay.
20.
Yep, that hits.
Wait, is this not? It's a dirty 20. And that does. Oh, also 6 damage. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you sink that blade into the maid, who cries out in pain.
Is she still up?
Yes, barely,
Okay.
but yes.
Then I'm gonna use my other action to strike with the flame blade.
Okay.
14.
Yep, that hits.
Cool. That does 9 fire damage.
Oh yeah, you chop. The blade goes right through her, and she falls in 2 burning pieces to the ground.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
How does Audrey look? Like, does she seem sated?
Yes,
Cool.
quite sated
Good.
for now.
Well,
Good. Great.
clearly,
You, however, are starting to feel a little hungry, which
Hate
is
that.
kind of a nauseating feeling.
Yeah. Oriana just sort of stands there over the bodies, just like looking kind of sick.
Okay, Sounder, it's kind of your turn, but there's no more battle at the moment. We're just gonna cut over to you briefly because you saw the obviously in peril and distressed maids reaching for your friends who just cut them down in this explosion of violence.
Yes, but also, this place is covered in that filth.
Yeah.
The buzzing is very loud.
Mhm.
And there's really nothing we can do for helping these maids.
This room is full of scattered papers and books and such. Also, there's like a decanter of some kind of alcohol. It's mostly empty, but there's still some left. And there's a tumbler next to it, which has a very, like, basically a finger of liquor at the bottom of. And also plates with rotting food. You can see flies buzzing around it.
lovely.
And then there's a door that heads into a kitchen.
Sounder's not holding their breath as far as finding viable food here, so that's not happening. She does take a moment to... First, she says to the other two, buzzing's pretty bad upstairs. Where's Anji?
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Great.
That's where Ori is basically using one of the maid's rags to like clean off the Audrey. And or maybe just on the upholstery of the couch or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, just still looking kind of like not great.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The she is not dismissing the flame blade.
Okay, let's go up to Audrey for a second. So Audrey, you're upstairs.
For a moment, I decide perhaps I should work smarter. I'm going to come back down the stairs because I am interested to know if that maid who introduced herself to us might have been wearing a chatelaine, because she could just have the key, and then I don't have to break the lock. So I'm gonna come back downstairs, and I probably see Ori with that and then there's bodies like, oh, something's going on in my absence.
They were too far gone.
You needn't explain yourselves to me. I'm certain it was justifiable homicide. Was either of them wearing a chatelaine?
Are they?
I mean, I'm not afraid to knock over a body looking to see if they've got keys on them either. I'm wearing gloves.
The body, so.
Do Ori and/or Sparrow know what a chatelaine is?
Yes.
I mean, Ori grew up in money, so
Okay.
I assume so. know.
So
Fair.
Sounder probably doesn't.
Anji's just out here being bougie.
Sounder's like, what are you talking about? I'm
Yeah.
scrounging for food.
No, at this point, Sounder's like, yeah, fuck that. I don't know what that
Oh,
is. I'm
there's
looking at all these.
There's our one for the
there's our
episode.
one for the episode.
All right.
Oh, you did.
Sorry.
All right, that's fine. All right,
It
so you're
wasn't
gonna
me.
search. You're gonna search the maids'
Yes.
bodies. You're gonna shake them down.
I
Yeah.
got a nat 20.
Okay. So the maid coming from the front had like a she had a large wooden spoon and just a couple of like a feather duster which is covered in dust. So not really useful items. The one coming from the common room does indeed have a ring with several keys on it. It has 3 keys on it.
I'm gonna nick that right off of her. I'm wearing gloves. I'm gonna nick that right off of her.
Yeah. Well, I
And,
mean, I'm
head
the one
back upstairs.
investigating, so I just hand it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
She also had a small bag that isn't covered in dust, and it looks like there's something. It smells, and when you kind of like peek into the bag, you can see that there are little pieces of dried meat in there.
Oh. Is it edible?
By whose standards?
Yeah. Is it?
Does it look like
By
like
tiefling standards, because tieflings. This is one of my favorite pieces of
Oh.
tiefling lore: is that tieflings can eat and digest almost anything.
Yeah.
like bone and gristle and
Yeah.
all kinds of gross things that most people wouldn't eat.
The
So
some of
yes,
us
by
are a bit
tiefling
more
standards,
discerning.
by standard tiefling standards, yes, you could eat that. Anji probably wouldn't want it. Sounder, you've eaten things like that before. I don't know how Sparrow would feel about it, but yeah, it's basically jerky. She had
Okay.
a little bag of jerky, which
I-
counts as 1 ration.
Sparrow grew up an
Okay.
urchin on the streets. She'll eat just about anything as long as it gets the job
Alright.
done.
So Sparrow, you're like, oh, yeah, that's preserved meat buds. That's what they're called on the street.
Meat
Meat
buds.
buds.
Yeah, because they look a little bit like a flower bud.
Ooh.
That concerns me a little bit, but yeah, that's
Yeah. What kind of meat makes a bud?
It depends. I mean, they're kind of like low quality meat. They're usually made from animals that people don't usually eat.
Yeah.
rat.
We're just,
Rat, dog, cat.
so how bad is the hunger that I feel?
You are ravenously hungry.
I imagine. that I
In
just
fact,
start-
everybody
into it.
has grown a bit hungry. Would you
Good.
like to eat or no?
I
you
will
know?
eat the meat buds if I am at ravenous levels.
Yeah.
I'll let Ori eat the meat buds. I may be
Sounder is
familiar
also
with
very
them.
hungry.
I may be familiar with those things, but I'm not like in a rush to eat them.
Especially
probably
considering
also
this
have-
place is covered in gross dust and rot. Sounder is hungry, but going to wait.
You
long as
probably
she-
also have rations in your character sheets too, which you could use if you wanted. Ori, do you have enough food to slake your hunger? Like, are you gonna dip into your rations?
Does the meat buds not enough for doing that?
No, it only addressed some of your hunger.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have Sparrow dip into her personal rations to
Yeah. I
handle
guess
some of the
so.
hunger.
Ori, you also need to eat an additional ration. Sparrow, you're down 1 ration.
Yep.
Anji, do you want to eat in here?
I will reduce. Did you already mark it on my sheet, or do I need to mark it on my
I
sheet?
have not marked it on your sheet.
Okay,
I'm
then I
just
am
tracking it on
deleting a
my side.
ration on my sheet. Okay.
Sounder, you're also ravenously hungry. Are you gonna eat?
It's gross in here.
It is.
I've eaten in worse places.
All right, you're just gonna stay ravenously hungry? Okay.
For now, yeah.
That's fine. All right. I also need each of you to make a Constitution save, please.
Oh, fun.
Only the people that
Or
ate the
actually, no,
food?
sorry. I need you each to make a wisdom save. Sorry.
Oh. Oh no.
All of us,
Each of
or
us?
only the people that ate the food?
All of you.
17.
Okay.
Wisdom.
18.
I don't even know where to find it. There it is.
18.
Ah!
Oh no.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's 10. It's 10.
Okay.
Please note that when the 7 came up on the D20, it looked like a 1 for a moment, and I got a little nervous. But it was a 7, so we're fine.
I wasn't too keen on this save because I have a -1 on my wisdom saves. So the fact that I got an 18, like that's
Well done, yeah.
Okay. So, everyone except for Anji, like this place is really creepy, but you know, you're keeping hold of your nerves. Anji, coming down and finding those bodies really freaked you out, and you are feared. So don't worry, I'm tracking the fear behind the scenes.
Okay.
Everyone except for Sounder at this point is unsettled. Sounder, you're cool as a cucumber. You're fine.
Why? What?
You're not scared of anything. Like, you managed to keep your mind together. That's what I'm saying. All right. So, the maids are dead. And you could check out the kitchen. You could check out the other rooms here on the first floor, or you could go back upstairs and check out the upstairs, or you could leave. What would you like to do?
all I'm saying is they had it coming.
No one's arguing that.
I think we should check out the upstairs to see where that knight's lab is.
Yeah.
Unless you found out something, Sounder.
Don't know what I found yet. It
Oh.
was buried in the yard.
Okay.
Well,
You show them the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something metal inside. Don't know what yet. Maybe something written in here has a clue?
I can slip off upstairs while you look at that, or we could all stick together.
Maybe we wait to go upstairs till we're together, because I'm telling you, whatever is causing the buzz, it's upstairs.
Well, I hear the
Let's
buzzing
open this
too.
up.
I'm not ignorant of the buzzing.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, I'm running back up the stairs to try all the keys.
Oh, or he's going to just run upstairs.
She just wants to get
Excuse you?
played.
I'm right here.
Not Ori, I'm sorry. Anji, you know what I mean.
It's fine. Pretty girl can get some plague too as a treat.
As a treat.
I don't know what you're all on about. I feel fine.
Okay. So, Sparrow's headed upstairs. Is that what you said?
Well, since Anji's already gone upstairs, I'm going to go
Anji.
upstairs to keep an eye on Anji.
Anji and Sparrow go upstairs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Sounder and Ori are staying downstairs. Okay.
At least for a minute.
Yes. All right. So, upstairs, Anji and Sparrow, you're there. You're confronted by the metal door, which again is a sliding door, and it slides over the staircase, basically. And then there's a door to a bedroom. You can hear, well, you can't hear anything from that bedroom anymore now. There's still that muddy light coming from it, though.
Oh, I do not like that.
Trying the keys. One at a
Okay.
time till that metal door gets unlocked.
Yeah, one of those keys does indeed unlock the door.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Okay, yes, and inside appears to be an alchemist laboratory. You see beakers, pipettes, those, long coursing tubes running from one thing to another thing, brewing metal tanks, all kinds of things. A table with a number of papers, information scrawled upon them. It's very similar to the handwriting that you saw down on the mirror downstairs, Anji. There is a chair and there's a coat rack with a what appears to be a light leather duster sort of cloak hanging on it, and also another plague mask also hanging on it, and a pair of gloves hanging on it. So it looks like somebody was well prepared for taking on infected areas.
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to do?
I want to do an investigation. I'm looking for anything that's going to look like he might have been working on a cure, an antidote, an inoculation. Because I'm starting to get the feeling that this plague happened because he was messing with stuff he shouldn't have been messing with. And if he manufactured this plague, he may very well have been working on a cure for this plague, because that's a great way to make money, make everybody sick, and be the only place you can get the treatment for it. So
you're going to start looking at the papers?
Yeah, I'm going to start looking at the papers. I'm going to start looking at anything that looks like a vial or a jar or
I will help.
All right. Since you've determined that this is alchemical script, you can make either an Arcana check or a medicine check.
We're going to go with Arcana over here.
Yeah, Arcana is going to be the better bet of the two.
Okay.
15.
11.
Okay. So, basically, Sparrow, it looks like it's just a bunch of notes on symptoms, and there's like a list of patients who are identified by numbers, not by names. And a list of various symptoms observed.
Oh God, did he do the thing of giving each maid a number instead of a name? Ah!
If he did, you don't see any clear indication that that's the case.
Okay.
Anji, you can also see that there is very little indication that Sir Moore, if that's indeed who this was, manufactured the plague in some way. It seems that he just noticed that people were starting to have these strange symptoms and put together that there was a plague.
Okay, that's at least good. You don't have to track this guy down and murder him in his sleep.
It feels kind of still oppressive in this room. Like, it's very claustrophobic, but you don't see any obvious danger. Ori and Sounder, you're downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The maids' bodies stink real bad, like worse than what you'd expect a normal human body to stink like.
Okay.
Do they stink like that one body we found outside of the widow's place?
Oh yeah.
Great!
Yeah, you never forget that smell. A
Cool.
little bit like a ruptured abscess. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Burn
just
it.
like flame blade.
So Ori's going to mutilate the bodies. Got it. No, this is totally
Okay.
valid.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Sounder, you're standing there with Ori, and Ori's like,
I'm gathering up as much of the documentation down here that I can.
Okay.
See
What-
what I can find of use.
Did we find? So, did you open the case? Like, did we find anything useful in there?
Hadn't opened it yet. Was
Okay,
gonna
open the
suggest
case.
it with everybody, and then was like,
No.
y'all went upstairs.
Yeah, open the case.
The case gets opened when she starts cramming documents into it.
okay.
Well,
You open
look
the
at it
case.
first, then cram stuff in there.
Case clicks open, click. And you open it, and this is what's inside. There is a ring, like a little plain iron ring. There is what you think at first is like a magnifying glass, but it doesn't actually have a handle. It looks to be just kind of a lens,
Like a monocle?
like a monocle, except there's no chain attached to it
Sure.
either, just a lens.
Almost like sometimes you find at jewelers' places, except it's not enclosed.
Yeah, like you could look through this to see more detail about an object you're holding. You also see a number of vials of some kind of liquid. They are not clear or anything. Like, they're different colors, mostly kind of like murky, grayish colors. And you see a doll, which is made of like leather and cloth. Has like a little stitched mouth, stitched eyes.
We should close the case with the doll in it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You're like, oh, that stuff is all very useful. Oh shit, doll.
Yeah, like.
And meanwhile, Sounder is sitting here investigating the doll, like, what kind of
slowly
artifact
closes
is
the
this?
case.
Dory's just like, I have seen too many of my cousins use those kinds of things to cause untold havoc on literally everything. Put it back.
In a minute. I gotta figure out what it is.
Okay, but if this thing comes to life and attacks you in a horrible, I'm going to just stand here and be like,
I'll
yep.
just throw it at you.
Make an investigation check, Sounder.
You put that back where you found it. It was so healthy.
You put that back right now.
That's a 13.
Okay. You're looking at the doll, you turning it over, and it has a name marked on the back of the doll, like on the inside of hem of its dress. It says Sala, S-A-L-A, Sala.
Okay, that tells me nothing. Well, it tells me it's directed at someone, and that someone is not me.
The doll doesn't appear to be like, it's not overly creepy or anything. It's just like a child's rag doll.
Okay.
Although the context is a little bit creepy. Okay. Do you do like any other specific kind of investigation? Like detect magic or something like that?
I don't actually have
Okay,
that,
that's fine.
I think. Let me
No
double
worries.
check.
I assume you're not going to just drink the liquid in the
Oh,
vials?
absolutely not. No.
The students
Like,
love
these
drinking
might be
random
healing
liquid.
potions. Blah.
I mean, I'm gonna steal all the vials of potion, and then we're gonna like feed them to Tarant one at a time until
Something
Okay.
works
One of them
or,
does the
or
trick.
he dies.
The first one you give him, he's like, ugh. And you're like, well, maybe that was the wrong one.
Okay, I guess
Die
we need to go
as you
find
live.
somebody else. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, I don't have
you've
detect
mostly
magic.
you've mostly gathered all the stuff that's down here. Do you want to do anything with the liquor that's in the decanter?
It's some kind of alcohol. Alcohol's used for frickin' disinfection, usually.
Ori,
And also, like, you know.
Ori, you're looking at that alcohol. You could really use a drink.
Hey, can I see that?
Like, your hands are still a little bit shaking.
Yeah, sure. Hands you the thumb inside the tumbler next to it.
Okay.
Wait.
I mean, it's not an actual thumb. That's just a measure of how
No,
much.
sorry.
Yeah.
The thumb. The measure of alcohol in it, yes.
That would be really funny, though. I'd like a finger in whiskey. What? I mean, a finger of whiskey.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she's gonna like pop it off and just sort of sniff it, like.
Yeah, it smells like fairly good whiskey. It is fairly good whiskey.
Awesome.
And your nerves feel a little more settled.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Here you go.
You are no longer unsettled. You're good.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson to you, kids. Drinking is a way to deal with anxiety and fear.
This can't possibly go wrong in other ways.
Okay,
Never.
I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw, though.
Here we go. 10.
Okay, you're okay.
Whew. Okay.
If you had blown that save, you would be tipsy at this point.
Okay. I figured. All right. So, shall we see? I haven't heard any horrible screaming from upstairs. So perhaps
it
should
seems
join
like they're
our
really
friends.
busy. And in point of fact, Anji and Sparrow, there's a lot of stuff to go over up here. It's like a treasure trove of information and items. There are a bunch of like potions and various liquids in different containers and such that you can look through. It sounds like Ori and Sounder are headed upstairs to help. Yes.
Yeah. 'cause-
I'm gonna want to swipe like everything in a vial, literally. Like we're gonna leave with all of that.
I mean, why
Okay.
not?
How much of that are we talking? Like, what is the size of this lab? I guess is what I'm asking.
Okay. Well, Sounder, as you're headed up there, the buzzing grows intense, just very loud. And you, I think you have been putting stuff back in the case, right? Like papers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that you still have that lens in your pocket. You know,
Does this bring to mind those stories of special rings and special lenses that let you see things that are not to be seen?
it does, in fact.
Okay.
Do you want to look through the lens?
I actually want to look through the ring first and then
Okay.
the lens.
The ring seems to be pretty normal.
Okay.
Don't put the ring on.
I need to appraise it first. We
Okay.
don't put random rings on our body when we don't know what they are.
This is
Yeah.
probably a good idea. All right, so you're headed upstairs and you're fiddling with the ring, and then you're looking at the lens. Ori is going ahead of you because she had the idea first, right? You want to look through the lens?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ori, you get up there, you find that they've opened this metal door. They're looking through the lab. Sounder, when you get up there, you look through the lens at the lab and you see that it is just full of buzzing black insects just zzz, all around your friends in this lab.
Is what you hear behind you. No, I'm not going in there. No.
So Ori, you like look back and you're like, hey, what's wrong?
Everything okay?
Sounder just kind of like cackles like a mad woman.
You
Yeah.
okay, buddy?
Yeah.
This is the doll, isn't it? This is the doll's fault.
Here, Cat,
Don't
throw
do
through
it.
the lens.
What the?
It's a tiny little lens. It's like hand size, palm sized.
Yeah,
You
I'm
look through the
making
lens?
gesture of suddenly getting this glass object thrown at me. Yeah, I'll look through the lens.
Oh yeah, that laboratory is full of plague cloud.
Ah,
What are you two doing back there?
Y'all are gonna sanitize when you come out of there, right?
everything is full of plague in here.
All right, I'm gonna need Ori and Anji and Sparrow to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh,
Oh.
5.
Okay.
Let's see.
Nat 20 for a total of 21.
Dang.
17.
Okay. Oriana, you're telling them about the plague cloud, and you
Mhm.
start coughing, and like blood comes out onto your hand.
Oh,
Ori,
I-
are you alright?
But you can all hear the sound of the buzzing, except for Anji. Anji, still nothing. Still nothing. But Sparrow, you can hear the buzzing now, and it's all around you.
I thought I
it's
could hear
become-
it before, but alright.
Yeah, but now you can hear it much louder, is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Alright. Yeah.
And here's something that you can all see at this point. From the ceiling, it looks like it's moving almost. It's like something dark and black is moving against the ceiling. And then as it lowers itself, you see that it is this black mist of like swirling insects that starts to descend toward you.
All right, grab
Yeah.
everything that's not nailed down and let's get out of here.
Don't grab everything that's not nailed down. It's probably played.
We might need the notes.
We can have
Okay.
the notes. The notes are here.
Of the things that I described to you that were in the room, tell me what you grab. Starting with Sparrow.
Sparrow is going to grab any, like, because she was looking through a lot of, like, formulae and notes and things. So she's going to start grabbing as much of that as she can.
Okay. Grab a bunch of papers.
Yeah.
Anji.
I literally want anything that looks like it's gonna be medicine that's already been mixed up. So like vials, potions, flasks.
Okay. Ori.
What's left again?
It wasn't really fair because you weren't there when I first described what was in the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Okay, so bunch of papers, books, potions, vials, liquid and beakers, coat rack with a mask, a cloak, and gloves hanging on it.
Okay. Is there anything that looks like a journal?
There is a leather-bound book, which you think might be a journal.
I will grab that.
Okay.
And my intention is to be the last person out so I can fireball this room.
Okay, cool. And Sounder, if you want to, you can hop in and grab something, or you can stay out where it's safe. I didn't make you make a con save because you haven't been exposed to that room.
Sounder has just been steadily backing the fuck up down the hall.
You did it again!
I'm sorry.
You've been backing slowly away,
Yeah.
and you realize that there's this as the bedroom door opens behind you.
Every bit as slowly as that creak was, is how slowly Sounder turns to look.
And these gray hands appear over your shoulders, right? And then just embrace you from behind. And you hear this husky voice say, There, it's all right. Everything will be all right. Now you get to make a Constitution save. And a wisdom save,
Yeah,
because that's freaky.
it is. It
Yeah.
certainly is. Oh, there it is. We'll start with that. That's a 16 for the whiz save.
Okay. You're unsettled, but it's not worse than that.
Hey, so quick question.
Yeah?
My mask. Do I get to add that +2? Is this
Yeah, it does give
airborne?
you,
Okay.
it does give you bonuses to resist being infected. So yes.
Okay. Then that is a 14 total.
Okay. All right. So you managed to pull away from that person.
And I would also like to launch some magic missile because if I'm unsettled because I just got grabbed.
Okay. All right. So you wheel around and you spray magic missiles into the body of the third maid who was up here weeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Why don't you just go ahead and roll me some damage?
Yep. Give me 1 sec to get that going. And I'll have it be known that it is a 3rd level, so there is a lot of magic missiles coming their way.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. So the first is 5. The second is also 5.
Okay, that's enough to kill the maid. But you're still firing more missiles, so
So 3. And
Okay, you
3.
blast this maid apart.
And one more.
Under a volley of magic missiles. Oh.
Yeah, so any additional missiles go launching into the room or wherever it was they came from. Just pretty much the direction that Sounder was facing.
Yes. You see that the maid was sitting on the bed. You can like see the indentation where the maid was sitting. And next to where the maid was sitting is this bundle of rags that is about baby-sized.
Oh dear.
But is not making any noise or moving.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, we leave.
Nope.
We leave now.
Yeah.
You make haste out of the house.
Scurry down the stairs. And as we are on the way out, I remind you all, we tell our dwarven friend that we found 3 dead bodies and a laboratory in disuse.
I'm
you all agree?
fireballing that laboratory. I'm fireballing it. I don't care. Those bugs are concerning.
It
All right,
accidentally
so-
caught fire as we knocked something down. We didn't burn it down, but we found
did
it,
not-
and now it's. Let's
Yep.
all agree on a lie right
Yes.
now.
It was burning when we got there.
I did not
Lord,
specifically
I'm sorry.
describe the dimensions of the room. It does not matter. The fireball goes off in there, spreads to the rest of the house, and immediately the house is on fire.
Okay, cool.
3 dead bodies in a room that was on fire.
And then you're walking away.
No, we are not
Shaking
walking.
a little bit.
We are not walking.
You are hurrying
We are
away.
dashing.
Shaking a bit.
Expeditiously retreating.
Okay.
Auntie is scurrying on her tiny little heels with her like skirts up in her hands.
Yeah, we are dashing off into the night. Let's get as
Y'all didn't
far away
think
from
she
here
could
as
move this
possible.
fast. You're like, oh.
I just imagine her like with like a Moulin Rouge can dancer, like
Yes, precisely that. And she's like, no. Big fire, possibly undead baby. No, getting right out. Just done.
Okay. So we are coming up on the end of this particular episode, but there is a last thing that happens. So as you're headed away from this burning house, you see that most of the crowd is dispersed. Most of the people are no longer here. But you hear shouting and commotion from somewhere nearby. And you hear a woman's voice shouting out, "What is wrong with you? Have you lost your minds?" And just like, rah, rah, rah. And yeah, so you hear that going on. It sounds like a battle almost. Would you like to investigate?
yes.
Or would you
Yes.
like to pass it by? Okay,
Let's
okay.
investigate.
So you head over that way.
I 100% don't want to investigate. So I slow down and they run past me. And then
Okay,
I
fair
follow
enough.
them. Then I
Fair
follow
enough.
them because, like, yeah.
Yeah. Anji takes a last look at the burning Mediker's house. All right. Sure enough, there is a crowd of people surrounding a very tall woman in kind of bright, colorful robes. They're much brighter than you'd expect here in Nightside. Most people don't wear things like this. She had a cloak, and the cloak is still partly on her, but the crowd seems to have torn most of it away. Would somebody who is there, so not Anji, because Anji's a little bit behind, make a religion check, please?
Sure, this probably won't go well. Yeah, that's a 6.
15.
Nice!
15, okay.
What's religion?
So, what's
What are
religion?
birds?
I don't get it.
We
Um,
Never heard of her.
I only have faith in myself.
Trust no one, not even
Nice.
yourself.
Nice.
Right, no.
Anyway, so let me see if I can get this, because is it this? I hate Google Drive. It's so complicated and difficult to find anything that I'm looking for. Anyway, all right. They appear to be the woman's robes mark her as a some sort of adherent worshiper of Eris, the goddess of light and the sun from Dayside.
Celestial light.
Yeah, celestial light. Allie could probably tell you more about this, actually, than I could.
I mean,
Yeah, okay.
Is that my cue?
Yeah, if you like. Her robes are orange and kind of a spectrum from very light orange to darker orange. She's brunette, and she's very tall. Like I said, she's nearly 6 feet tall, and pretty well built, muscular. Obviously, a woman who knows how to handle herself in a physical match of some kind. But
Yeah.
there are too many people, and they are like crowded around her, and they're like trying to capture her, grapple her. And meanwhile, there are a few others who are nearby laying down pieces of wood around a stake, shall we say?
Okay.
And they
What's
seem to be shouting about they seem to be shouting plague bringer and monster and all kinds of things of that nature.
All right.
All right. How do you want? What do you want to do?
Well, Sparrow is gonna walk right up to these people, and it basically raise her voice. It's like, all right, I think that's quite enough.
So you're gonna try and diffuse things with your words
Yes.
rather than your sword.
While
Yes.
words are being used to diffuse that, Sounder is going over to where
Unexpected.
the wood is
Uh-huh.
and grabbing up as much as she can and running back to that house to pitch it at the fire that is going.
Okay. All right.
Just
So
literally that moment of, oh, that's great, thanks, needed this.
We already have a fire. We can just add this to it.
Well, I think
Fair.
I think Sparrow, her exact kind of argument is going to be along the lines of like, I know we're not terribly fond of Arisians around here, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be bringing. It doesn't mean that they're the source of this plague. When have you known the adherents of Aris to be that, well, indirect?
it sounds like you are attempting a persuasion check
Yes.
to dissuade the crowd, the mob, shall we say, from burning this woman at the stake. Okay?
Yes.
Make a check.
The 22.
Okay, they hesitate. They're like, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. The woman looks over at Sparrow, and her eyes meet yours, and you have this little, like, moment of understanding that flashes between the two of you. Like, she seems afraid, but also, like, you sense there's this fearsome belief and conviction in what she's doing. But she seems to be going along with you.
I get it. We're all unnerved. We're all hungry. But let's not turn into, well, an angry mob.
Okay. They so one person in the mob says, well, why was she trying to hide? She was trying to hide. And one of them holds up that cloak that they pulled off her.
Well, oh, go ahead.
I would like to attempt an intimidation check.
Okay.
And just be like, I am investigating this plague on behalf of Hellfire. You do not allow me to question this woman, you will face their wrath.
Okay. That sounds like it's kind of a mix of intimidation and
Okay.
deception, so you
Well,
can
then how
do
about
either.
All of you are, if you don't let me question them, I will set all of you on fire.
Okay, that's intimidation. Go for it.
18.
We're gonna burn somebody, huh? How about all of you?
Yeah, we're just done.
Okay, yeah, they do indeed back away.
I will also stand so that the burning building is like backlighting me.
Okay. Now the woman in the orange looks over at Ori and looks a little like, I don't want to say disgusted exactly, but like disapproving.
Okay.
Like, sure, you're saving her life, but like, ugh. Okay. Yeah, so the mob seems to be on the verge of disbanding. But they're not quite done. One of them says to the others, kind of like trying to drum up, their enthusiasm. Don't you remember, like our children? They're dying because of these strangers and foreigners who are bringing in this plague.
Foreigners.
Like this woman. And her, and she points at Sparrow, who let's remind everybody, Sparrow looks very strange, like extra pale and has the red eyes, like not a lot of people look exactly like Sparrow.
I grew up on these streets, so don't even begin to call me an outsider.
Ori has not dismissed the flame blade. And it's
Now.
just like, fine.
Also, since when was Dayside considered to be a foreign nation? We're all part of the same city.
All right, so it sounds like you were making a persuasion check, and I'm going to give you advantage because you're using your urchin background to help you.
Yes.
And when I catch up, I want to do something too. So.
Yes, Anji, you show up as Sparrow's doing this.
Wow, I got double 19s, but
Wow.
25.
All right, so this is what happens. First of all, you succeed, and the mob is like, "Oh yeah, she's right. She is one of us." One says, "She's the Silver Sparrow. It's the Silver Sparrow."
Oh, she smirks at that. That's not going to her head at all.
Yeah, like, how dare you question the Silver Sparrow? She's a hero of Nightside.
Yes, she's a hero. Help me move this wood.
So
All right.
I'm gonna
Anji
tack
shows
on
up.
to the end of that, and I'm gonna cast suggestion on this crowd and suggest they disperse.
Well, you can only cast suggestion on like one person, unless
Well, then-
you elevate it up a
That
slot.
guy, that was the agitator then.
I will start with the person that was
The agitator?
on, and suggest that they not only leave but like take their buddies with them.
Okay. All right. What is the save DC?
Give me a second. It is.
Oh, he rolled a 7. He's not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's wisdom, and they need a 17.
Yeah, no. Wisdom is not this guy's strong suit. He wouldn't have pointed at the Silver Sparrow as an outsider to the town if wisdom were his strong suit.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
So yeah, you weave that suggestion, like maybe you whisper it to him, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Come on, lads. Drinks on me," and then they head off, leaving
we'll leave this place and go get a pint at the pub.
leaving the woman in orange standing there, a little bit ruffled, a little bit roughed up, but generally pretty intact. And she looks over at you, and she kind of straightens up to be all proper, and she says, "My thanks."
Of course. It's not often we see one of the members of the Purifiers.
Huh. She looks a little like discomfited at that phrase, and she says, "I am here to help, if you must know. I am Isadora, and who are my saviors?"
Well, I'm known as was pointed out, the Silver Sparrow. This is, well, would you like to introduce yourself, dear? Don't worry.
Oriana will drop her disguise. Oriana Devereaux.
So now you don't look like could be Oriana's cousin, but like Oriana. Okay.
Correct.
Yes. Isadora raises an eyebrow thoughtfully. She looks over at Sounder and at Anji. Who are the other two who are still here? Like she made you two as part of the same group.
Yeah.
She seems to be fairly wise, perceptive.
She's from Dayside. She's not getting my name.
Yeah, Sounder's not given names, but she does that. You wouldn't happen to know a lady handing out strange powders in exchange for scalpels, would you?
She looks a little surprised and stands up and then winces and presses her hand to her side, and she's like, I see. Have you come to make a problem of that?
No, I just need to know what was originally in it, because the kid you gave it to mixed it all together.
Mixed it all together?
And she pulls out the pouch. This is what's left.
Huh. So, so, the woman is looking at Anji like, I think I know this woman somehow.
Oriana will interrupt before those thoughts can continue with, you had mentioned that you're looking to stop this plague, and that is exactly what we're trying to do as well. We would
Good.
really like
Yes, that
to
is why I've come.
align. From what we know, we think that it started on the Doom train coming from Dayside to Nightside. So, like, do you know anything about what could have, like, been brought on there? Or, like, have you heard anything?
She kind of like scrunches up her expression. She says, that is a very specific speculation.
Yes, well,
We've
word
been
gets around.
investigating for a while.
I see.
Honestly, none of this started till after that stupid thing went kaplooey.
Exactly.
Well, let us find somewhere that we can speak, possibly in private. I shall tell you what I know, and perhaps we can be of use to each other
Perhaps.
to save this city from the evil plague that has fallen upon it.
And this
Certainly.
wait until after dinner.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I am hungry as well. All right. So, I think that's a good place to stop for this particular session.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've been Eric Scott to be the DM of the Greymantle game and several other things on the stream. Look up my books and stuff. I'm not sure when this is going to be showing, so I don't know what's coming out. But I have a superhero novel called Public Enemy that's coming out this summer, and it's going to be pretty great. It's the second one in my Just Vengeance series. Those are the prequels that Amanda is showing you on the screen. They are already out. They came out in January 2024, and just look it up online. You'll be able to find it. Thank you so much. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I, as ever, have been Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short, writer, game designer, TTRPG streamer, and you can find my work in many places. I have several short stories out in anthologies from Outland Entertainment. I have some of my work on my Patreon, patreon.com/Alexander Pitchford. The tier that gets you access to basically everything is only $1, so there's no reason not to check it out. And I have a vampire book that I'm working on that'll hopefully be finished soon. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah.
Nice. Someone want to go next?
Okay. Sorry.
All right.
I'm Lex. You can find me a lot of places on the internet at either Fortavare with or without the dash, or LexArts with 2 X's. I illustrate, I play games. I have a commission sale going on through the month of April, 25% off. You should check it out. Or just follow my Patreon. You'll hear more news there.
Hello, friends. My name is Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. I run savagesparrow.com, your super amazing website for nerdy apparel and accessories. We have really cool licensed Pathfinder stuff if you want something to level up your look at the gaming table. Otherwise, I don't know. Again, I don't know when this is airing, but I am working on a bunch of new stuff. So please check out my website for new pre-orders and or whatever new Kickstarter I'm working on. And yeah, I had a great time playing Oriana Devereaux, the Vainglory. You know, again, contemplating both her mortality and her immortal soul. What a great time. Thanks, Eric.
And I have been Amanda Cherry. I write books and stories and occasionally tabletop games and screenplays and all sorts of crazy stuff. Again, some of it with Eric Scott DeBee, including like these books right here. I keep things on my desk. You can find me online at Manda the Ginger. That's on TikTok and the X Twitter. I am also www.thegingervillain.com or facebook.com/thegingervillain. And I am really hilarious on social media when I'm a little more awake than I am right now. I have played Anji, the silly, thirsty tiefling who is here mostly for decoration and apparently to get into trouble and I guess occasionally get us out of it. So that was kind of extra unexpected fun this week. Yeah, that's me and I'm glad you were here.
All right. Until next time, keep to the shadows.